I mean, safety first, I agree, is a basic principle, but in terms of like how I see things, I don't really see, I kind of see it as all kind of integrated. You know, like, why dream about something that's not possible? So Boca del Lupo is it's, you know, with the Boca del Lupo Theater Society. It's our official, you know, society name, and we're a company that that I started with a number of individuals in '96. Our basic mandate is to create new work. So we don't produce any plays that have already been produced. We, generally speaking, you know, we're not looking for scripts, you know, and producing those scripts. We're actually starting from the ground up. We always start from zero. Fall Away Home, the one I think that we'll talk a bit about, we came up with the concept of building a set out of shipping containers, because it's something you could, it's very Vancouver, but it's also very other parts of the world too, right? They're kind of ubiquitous the world over. And from that, we developed we also like it to tie to kind of social issues or contemporary issues of the day, like why do it if it doesn't have some kind of purpose or meaning. And so we landed on an article that was talking about human trafficking in Vancouver, and there was like, I think it's like 600 people a year that come in through the port of Vancouver in shipping containers, you know. And so, you know, those two things kind of dovetailed with each other, so we decided to make like a free outdoor, all ages show with shipping containers about human trafficking. I think safety always very much factors into any of the work that we do, because one thing in the theater, you have to be able to do it over and over again every night, right? So I mean, I think perhaps that's a difference between the theater and the film industry, in the sense that, I mean, the film industry is quite safe, but the threshold of what we can do is quite different, because you have to do it every day, sometimes twice a day. And so, you know, whereas you might have time to, like, you know, get one shot, let's say in film, and then have time to heal or whatever, take your ibuprofen and visit your chiropractor, you know, the theater actor has to the very next day go back up and do the same thing again. So, I mean, there's that necessity for it to be safe, and in terms of protecting the integrity of the performance, you know. But, you know, on the other side of it, I don't know, yeah, I mean, safety is definitely something, I don't know where it came from, but it's definitely something that is there at the very beginning of anything that we're going to do. It's like, we want to do that, we want to accomplish an image, sure, okay, yeah, but, you know, how can we do it safely, you know? And I think it goes into, for me, it's a bigger picture thing too, which is that, you know, I think of myself as an imaginative person, a dreamer, but I think that part of the success of Boca del Lupo has also been, it's been grounded by an underlying pragmatism, which is like, you know, you can't do something if you don't, like, that's a great dream, but if you don't have enough money, it's not going to look good. And, you know, that's a great idea, but if you can't do it safely, you know, it's not really, it's not worth doing, you know. And so yeah, I think that it does. I think that safety is sort of, it's really fundamental, you know, as fundamental as money. I think that in today's, you know, world, where there's so much about our world that we don't understand. Like, I don't know how my car works. You know, I do know how my bike works, but I do not know how my car works, and or my computer works. And I think there's a certain delight in exposing the magic. And I think that if it's done properly, it doesn't detract from it at the same time. I think it actually can add to it, you know, and not just for the purposes of safety, but because, you know, we do it with, not just within the context of safety, but we were talking a little bit earlier about, like, okay, if we're going, like with photog, which is another piece we incorporated rigging into, but we also incorporated a lot of new media. And, you know, the new media elements, we had the people that were like, a lot of the things that you can do in front of an audience now that you could only previously do in post-production film, and we exposed all of that. And so the same goes true, I think, for the safety elements, which is, you know, you see the performer clipping into the rigging harness, and instead of detracting from it, I think it can build the anticipation about what's going to happen, you know. But you know, so I think in the theater, especially, it can really, it lets people in on it. You know, it's like, hey, we're doing this, we're all in this together. They become complicit, and so for me, that's the reason to do it. It's kind of what it boils down to for me, and that includes safety. That includes, you know, whatever other resources you may have available, and, you know, and there's limitations to that. I think there's enormous freedom in being an artist that doesn't consider those things. Sometimes I wonder, you know, if and if you really want to make great art, should you put any limitations on yourself, and then maybe figure it out later, how you're going to accomplish it, whether it's about safety or whether it's about money. But I think just the type of person I am, I can't escape a certain pragmatism. And so I think that for me, it's more of a holistic approach. So I wouldn't say safety first, and I wouldn't say, whatever, I wouldn't necessarily look to money first. I wouldn't look, sort of like it's all kind of one package in my mind. Hi, my name's Jay Dodge, and I'm the artistic producer at Boca del Lupo.